Trying to punch him up here in the top left-hand side. The blue Zerg player, he's coming out of the gate swinging. It is Rex.
And the bottom right here, about to receive the pain of the 12 pool. It is Haas.
And he's not scouting. Dude, I'm telling you, Rex has his ladder account. Yeah, well, Haas is sending a scout out after the Cybercore, and even that, it's just going straight to the natural. It's not going to see anything. The Lings have worked their way around the edges of the map. He's going to click on that pylon, depower it. Probes are going to get to the natural, and it's just going to be a bunch of Lings fighting the probes, and that's never a good fight for the Protoss player. Oh, he pulls the probes very quickly. Nice reaction. He's actually going to keep that pylon up.
Yep, and he's also instantly started the Zealot as well. Does not want to wait for that depth. Drops a shield battery in the wall, giving him some time versus reinforcements here of Rex. Of course, we know that Rex is actually droning up back at home, so he's actually kept his Zealot
get the
on
Zerglings out of
here.
it! Oh, Rex! Oh my gosh, he gets his Zerglings surrounded! Rex! A disastrous mistake there. He has not killed a single probe. Don't get me wrong, it's the mining time that's the main thing, but you're meant to get a lot more. You're meant to keep those Zerglings alive. Rex here with a blunder at the start of game one. Oh, he needed to go up that ramp. There was no need to stay on that low ground.
Yeah, but, you know, a mistake from Rex, but also really good probe control from Haas to get that surrounded. And again, showing some nice micro there on the workers, continuing to maintain no probe damage just yet. A very hurt probe here that Rex is diving for, but the Adept is out, and she should be able to get rid of these Lings.
She's going to clean it up now. 23 workers versus 24. No third hatchery in sight for the Zerg.
What
Haas.
a hold.
This is it. So I really do feel this matchup between the two. Haas is so much more calm under pressure than Rex. Feels like he's there, but Rex's build orders are giving him great advantages a lot of the time. So it's an interesting series, and I think this will reset to a rather even position. The tech's been massively delayed for Haas. And it's now going to counterattack with a couple of Adepts.
Yep, so a couple of Adepts going into the Stalker and a Twilight Council as well. So this could lead into the Adept Printer follow-up, or Haas could go drop a Robo and maybe go for the, the Dark Shrine follow-up as well. There's a couple of different options here with the Twilight Council. The two Adepts definitely looking for drones here. Also scouting the third, also important.
Haas is already setting up a proxy gate on the right-hand side of the map.
Ooh.
So he's going to be, no doubt, setting up for just mass Glaive Adept, I'm quite sure. And Glaives does start up behind this. These Adepts already being a nuisance. Remember, Ling speed nowhere in sight, as gas mining has not even begun for Rex in this game. These Adepts going to go for even more. They've already grabbed a bunch of Zerglings. A nice Evo block there by Rex, but still losing a lot of mining time. A massive disruption to his macro.
And there's one Adept, she's really low. She gets finally picked off there by that last Queen, but safe to say that Haas can afford to lose an Adept and still be happy to deny mining time here. You know, you were talking about the gas mining. Rex's natural gases were completely dormant there for that moment because of the Adept denial, and he's only just started mining it. Lost an Overlord there as well, unfortunately, getting a little bit too deep with that Overlord. I think the Stalker must have picked it off. So Haas's attack is going to be hitting hard and fast, and Rex just doesn't have any gas units to be able to hold a lot of Adepts here.
Well, he does see the gateways with the Overlord and immediately drops a Roachmore on their third gas geyser. So good scouting from Rex. I mean, he's had these amazing reads, often before the games even start. But then in the games as well, he's scouting and he's reacting to things. There are so many things that Rex has been doing well here in his anti-Haas play, but the Adepts already starting to get printed out. Just a test print to start there, the test page. Make sure everything's aligned. 3 Adepts going to come on out with all the little dots and things.
Yeah,
that's
align
just to
the dot
scare
matrix. Get the ribbon nice and wet, ready to print.
Whoa. Does block that Spore Trick there. There will be a lair ready for the DT Shrine timing. And there's plenty of workers here. No wall off just yet, but roaches are about to be popping out. Haas here, he's still looking for an opening. Can he find a window? Queen's taking a bunch of damage against these Adepts.
Yeah, the Queen's quite deep in the orange here. Is a bad news bear situation if he wants to stand and fight against the Adepts. Which, you know, you could actually overwhelm small clusters of roaches with Adepts, even though they're not built to destroy the roach. If you have enough of them, they beat everything. So that's just kind of how things work sometimes in StarCraft. But Haas, not just going with the Adepts, he did drop the Dark Shrine behind this, starting his Forge up back at home as well to start getting towards +1 and something a little bit more convincing than just Adepts and DTs. But I gotta say, I still like Haas's position. Rex just amassing roaches here. Good block there in the natural, though, with the Evo.
Yeah, I like that. Nice reactive block there. I think he's got to leave a drone there to do that again because he's going back to droning right now. Rex here being way too greedy. DT's running in the third. He's Adepts. Yeah, the Adepts are making him scramble. And nice cancel. DT's find the Spore Crawler. Now, there is an Overseer Where is this overseer? There is one at home, but it's in the main base. He's got to get...
Ooh.
Oh, it's way out of position.
Yeah, and the other one's in the main base of Haas as well as Rex's main base. The Adepts actually break the wall, kill the Evo, 75 minerals down and a drone, and they kill the third base. The DTs, the Invisible Men, get the damage on the third, and now Rex has to play whack-a-mole with these Adepts, which are going to take so much drones with them.
Yeah, nice recall here as well. The Adepts get out of there. There's a third base behind this. He's up 5 workers, up in expansion, and up into charge. +1 and robo play. A perfect start for Haas. I'm talking, honestly, this was no scout versus 12 bull. It was a disaster of an opening situation. Haas here is like, cool. This is the man who goes surfing for the first time. There's like 100-foot tall wave and he smiles and just swims out to it. Like he's just, he's so happy to find his way through these situations where anyone else would panic and make mistakes. He just starts playing better.
Haas is like, you know what, next weekend I'm just going to do that helicopter drop that those professional surfers do. I'm sure it'll be fine.
It'll be great. Let's go, man.
Yeah, what could go wrong? I'll be right. And Rex finally finds the proxy that's been a thorn on his side this game. Charge follow-up, big gateway explosion for Haas as well as their immortal production. Third base saturated. I mean, is anything going right for Rex at the moment?
Oh, not really. It's, things definitely starting off rocky here in this rematch. I think maybe just massing units off about 65 drones. There's always a chance Haas overcommits to the aggression into you, but numbers-wise, when you're down in supply on roaches, that's about as bleak as it gets as a Zerg player. You're going to need some sick engagements to get back in this one.
Drops the infestation pit here, so it looks like Rex might try and go for the Hellmuffin route, the Swarm Host route here, I feel, with the +1.
Yeah, not a bad comeback move. Definitely one where I don't know if he's going to have room to even start those Hell Muffins. I think seeing this attack, it's just, oh, got to keep making Roach Ravager only and try to intercept this push. How many Ravagers? Yeah, you know what? You can slow him down at this choke point. There's so many Zealots, though. That's the sort of army that can just break a choke point, right? It can just run right through you. And already force fields trap 4 roaches up front. They get obliterated. One of them gets out of there. Some biles do land in the Protoss army. Rex has got to try and use this space. He needs to bait out those force fields ahead of time. But it kind of feels like there's more Zealots and Archons than he has roaches right now, and that's a bad position to be in.
Certainly, this army of Haas is built to destroy what Rex has, and it is doing a great job of it. Oh my god, Rex, every time he turns and fights, he's just bleeding out army supply here. The army of Haas just gets bigger and stronger with the Prism reinforcing or the Gateway reinforcing. More charge lots coming into that front line. It is a nice concave of Roaches and Ravagers here, so the charge lots are going to have to get in there and start tanking it for the backline, but that backline's putting in work. Pig, the Archons, the Immortals, just forcing that evacuation of drones. That hatchery is not long for this world. The Prism dancing around the Biles, and Haas dancing around Rex in game 1. Well, that is a tough ask, and here we go. This is the reason why it's so hard, because this guy in the top right, he's a monster. He's wild, he's crazy. He is Haas.
And down here in the bottom left-hand side of the map, the Blue Zerg finally trying to prove that he is the apex predator that he's always wanted to be. It is Rex.
All right, Rex, show me what you're working with. What do we got here? Gas pool first. All right.
Maynard, you're going to be so... Oh, you're going to be so happy.
I'm very happy.
This build order from Rex, he's going to send another drone out in a moment as well, I believe. If he's doing the one... So what he did before with this build is he came in, built a hatchery in the main, another hatchery in the wall, and just rallied speedlings across the map. However...
I remember.
Oh, that was actually versus Nice. That wasn't versus Haas, was it?
Yep, that was versus Nice. We cast that together.
We did cast that one. I was thinking that was versus Haas. No, this is the old school spine crawler version. But Haas... Oh, he cancels his forge. Oh, Haas, you do not want to be canceling your forge versus this. I think you'd much rather be building cannons. Oh, Haas! He saw the gas and pool, and he's totally misread what's happening. Haas does not realize this is a proxy hatch speedling spine crawler rush.
Ooh, Mr. Mind Game getting mind gamed a little bit. You never mind game the mind gamer usually, but I tell you what, this looks all right on paper for Rex, and by all right, I mean pretty damn good. Not having your reaction correctly, like not having that forge means no cannon, static defense, not here. He starts the Zealot, seeing these Lings, sees the drone going across the map, and I think things are putting 2 and 2 together here for Haas.
Yeah, I mean, he should have already known. Haas here, yeah, he thinks about it. Yeah, he's going to go check to the left and see it in a moment. He actually checked for this in game 1 with his probe before putting his cyber core down, cancels the Nexus, shield batteries, stalkers, and a desperate attempt to defend. He needs a third pylon as well. This is a disastrous situation. He knows spine crawlers are going to get up. There's no way he can stop that. It's just about trying to defend behind this. And I think he's going to have to build a second layer to his wall off. He's got to keep that cyber core alive for starters.
Yeah, I mean, this is the makings of a defense for Haas, but he's not quite there quite yet. Cybercore getting picked off would be disastrous. He does need stalkers, and he does need adepts to hold on much safer against these stalkers. You know, if you're just making slow zealots here against a spine crawler kind of, pressuring Zerg, it is just so tough to make that happen. You need those stalkers.
Just surround it, Rex. I know he's got shield batteries, but just surround it. This is way too many Zerglings. The fact that Haas is outside like that, I think is a huge mistake from Haas. Okay, you know what? The adept out. Wait for the spines and the queen. Not a bad idea. These spine crawlers can just walk right up. This is such a bad position for Haas. I mean, he knows he needs to try and protect his wall. He's got so many shield batteries coming down, but the damage output from the Zerg is just out of this world. Walls open, walls open.
Oh, he's in. Is he though? Oh, only one Ling gets in. The adept gets back in there.
Spines, though, are going to take it all down. The DPS is dropping here as Haas is down to just one adept. 1 second. Adept is about to pop out. He's out of juice. The shield batteries have run dry, and those adepts are out of support, out of hope. And this one is done. Rex here with a classic spine crawler speedling cheese. This is an awesome build, the proxy hatch. It's a classic one. It's one that normally Haas checks for. He checked for it in game 1, but he was completely tricked out here in map number 2.
Certainly was. Amazingly enough, Wargate's going to finish for precisely 0 gateways are actually powered at the moment. So that's going to be GG. Unfortunately, when you don't have your natural nexus, you can't overcharge shield batteries, so Haas just has to use them old school style. And that... victim after victim. But of course, Rex showing that the boogeyman cannot kill everybody. In the bottom left here, in the red, it is the king of cheese himself, Mr. Haas.
That face right there is the thing that keeps a lot of Zerg players awake at night, often waking up in the middle of the night to check behind their natural for photon cannons. And no doubt this man will be doing the same thing. Up here in the top right-hand side, it looks like he's gone back to the hatch first on the third, and I like to see it. It is Rex.
Hatchery first. How quaint. How gauche.
As I say that, the drone continues, Maynard. Okay, no.
It's the you're a Protoss and you're probably going to block my natural if I take it first.
I thought it was going to go even further to the left. Then I was like, wait, what are we seeing? I was like, okay, no, it just turned around and went back. I guess it was checking for the old proxy pylon there with the 2-gate forge rush. Now Haas goes straight there because he knows Rex. We know Rex. We were talking about this before the series started, and Haas was kind of expecting it too. He's going to hide that probe back there, drop a forge at home, and Rex. Ooh, okay. So I wonder when Rex scouts behind his third for this.
Oh, this is a proper cannon rush here from Haas. The forge, I don't think is going to be cancelled this time. So going to take his natural 100%. Behind it. Yeah.
I like the cyber core is still down. He's still probing. Because this is like a, hey, you don't scout this, you can't defend it. But Rex is not sent a drone down there at all, and oh, this is a big mistake. He's just assuming that there's no probe on the map, and ooh, yep, perfect timing. So these cannons are going to finish after the hatchery finishes. This way you don't give away the fact that you're committing to it. Haas is just waiting. He's investing in double gas, probes, all the normal things at home. And then he goes, okay, your hatchery is going to finish. All right, let's build a second cannon. And now he's going to scout behind this. And if he sees what looks like the Zerg fighting for it, he can drop more cannons if he needs. But as it is, sees a new hatchery, and he says, cool, you're going to expand. You're going to have a bad macro follow-up, losing that base. I'll drop my Stargate, expand behind this, and I've got such a momentum lead in this early game.
Yeah, this is a lovely spot here for the Protoss. We got ourselves a Stargate on the way as well. I love a Stargate follow-up when you're doing this as a Protoss because it feels like you're a little vulnerable to, you know, some of the wilder, more one-basey things from a Zerg. So Stargate just covers your bases literally and figuratively. And also, if there is nothing from the Zerg, you can go across the map and scout and potentially do damage. Like a Stargate follow-up is just, yeah, just the right call from Haas.
Nice play. It's going to get him that advantage. I do like that drones and overlords are being built out of this third base ahead of time before it goes down. It's just going to re-drone up to the natural. And of course, a Void Ray starts up. Void Ray before Nexus, though, for Haas. So Definitely prioritizing shutting down Rex's vision rather than boosting his own economy up. Rex here, I would really advise he sends all of his overlords back, and it looks like he's doing it for most. Just one out on the left-hand side. So, yeah, I think it's going to be about creep slowly getting back out there, moving down to the southern third base, having a good time. I feel like the situation is not game over for Rex. It's just hard to figure out what's coming next. And when you've got cannons already up at your third, you can't really afford to dislodge that, and that's a very convenient adept warp-in location. So I actually think the follow-up for Haas is going to involve the Void Ray being annoying, maybe an Oracle coming in, and probably a bunch of adepts warping in at that pylon.
And why not? Adept gut checking is one of the strongest things you can do in most of the matchups. Say, arguably, maybe not PvT. Void Ray going across the map here, looking for overlords, looking for anything. You scout with this as well. It's much faster than it was before. Sees the lair. That's good information there for Haas already.
Yeah, 2-base lair. Definitely good info. A fast +1 attack on the way for Haas. Wants to get the ground upgrades going.
Yeah.
Charge and a robo and fully pulling off gas. Oh my.
Oh, yeah. We're going to see some lots. The lot's going to come down, Pega. Gateway Explosion.
Dude. Oh, dude. Yeah, I mean, what scouting do you have? And I was talking about adepts warping in. Why not just warp in, you know, 1 or 2 dozen +1 charge zealots over at those cannons as well? That can work. I mean, there's going to be a prism coming across the map. Just 0 gas needed for this. It's just 29 probes, all on mineral mining. It's going to go up to at least 7 or 8 gateways. And honestly, a scary attack is going to be coming across that map.
Yeah, this charge lot attack with the prism support is one of those things that does bamboozle and does just get you a free win sometimes. Rex is going to have a Roach Warrior, and he's going towards +1, and Roaches are precisely what you want to fight this. Or Banelings, you know, Roaches or Banelings. Basically one of those 2 options. That's the unit you want. You don't want to just have Lings and Queens. That's not going to cut the mustard. Void Ray doing a bit of hit point damage on the Roach Warren. I mean, getting the Roach Warren would be fantastic. The Queens are going to box themselves in here.
Well, there's no wall off. This is kind of hilarious, right? Rex once again shows he has Haas's playbook. He's like, well, you've got that warp-in point, so you're 100% going to hit me with Zealots or Adepts. So I'm going to fully wall off my base and build Queens. You know, he might be going for like Nidus Swarmhost as well behind it, but he's so quick to the wall off, and that is just such a, like, this is specifically to try and stop the sort of follow-up that Haas is going for. Haas is going to have to bust through that wall to begin this hole. This is such a weird situation. Now, Rex doesn't have the confirmation. He needs to mass Roaches. He seems to be doing it, but if he gets a Zealot warp in the main while busting the Evos at the front, I still think this is a scary attack from Haas.
I think there's a spread of anti-air in the main base, though. I see the Queens up there. Is a Spore being moved as well? Prism is in the main. It's going to start warping in. Can Rex get the Prism? Oh, no, he doesn't. A big warp in of charge lots in the main base.
Ooh, Roaches on the ramp, though, limiting surface area is very nice. A lot of the Zealots stuck behind each other. Few more are in the mineral line, though. And a Void Ray comes on in as well. Even focus firing Roaches with the prismatically aligned Void Ray rather than letting it attack the Queens. Using that bonus damage. Haas, of course, always has that attention to detail. Lots of drones falling in the main base. Roaches trying to wriggle back, trying to hold on. Ooh, that Warp Prism's looking very exposed, but there's not many Roaches out right now. Every Roach is sacred. One more Warp-in gets in, and I think Rex is dead. That Prism... Ooh, just going to save a few Zealots and pull back. A second Prism is on the way. It's just popped out at home. Remember, there's only 34 probes behind this. It's still all in from Haas. Yeah. Now, Rex's +1 has finished. He's got a few Roaches out. He's building Zerglings, though. His Roach Warren still hasn't finished, and it's going to die again.
Oh, Haas, the mad lad. He's just rolling in with that Hurt Prism, getting a bit more shields on it, and just dives over the Queens here with the Zealot. Still keeps the Prism alive. Finally, it goes down, but is there enough Zealots to finally seal this deal? The Lings that came out for Rex, not the unit he wants here against those Zealots. Does he just have enough, though, to hold? No, new Prism's here, Maynard. Just when he thinks he's held on, the new Prism is here. And at this point, I think he's just going to kill the Roach Warren. He says, you've got no more range damage left, mate. Your Roaches are about to pop out, but they are not here yet. Lings and Queens are not the units you want against Charge Zealots. And without any ball of Roaches left, the Spine Crawler and the natural finishes, he goes right past it. Haas says, no, I'm going for the good stuff. I'm going for the money in the main base. Let's go. And it looks like Haas here able to get in on top. Yep. What a fun game this was. Haas here, though, says, once again, I am the master of the magic. Crazy matchups. You put me in a chaotic situation, you wall off your base, I'll still bust through with melee units. I love Taiwan. Can I just say that? I really love Taiwan. My God. It feels like the Zerg version of Haas and the Haas version of Haas up against each other here. It's just... It is... something. But anyway, in the bottom right here, let's see if he goes for something a little bit wilder in this game. In the blue, currently down the series, looking to tie it up and take it to the ace match. He is Rex.
Recently dethroned in last season, but also recently dethroned on a Ligulac as the #1 player in Taiwan. He wants it back. And if he wins this series, he'll get a chance in the grand finals. In the top left, in the red, it is Haas. Yep. Simple wall off there.
Yep.
If you keep your drone on the low ground, you keep it in front of him from getting behind the minerals, then you could actually stop this. As it is, though, I think Rex is happy to just cancel and retake elsewhere. He feels very comfortable with that, so I think he's happy to just force pylons. And nice cancel there. Extra pylon to limit surface area. Makes sure that if more drones come down, they will not be able to take out that cannon. But Rex is simply preparing to take a cancel at the very last second, and Haas responds with his own cancel on one of those cannons. So far, it looks like Haas wants to go for a quicker expand behind this than usual. Maybe. Normally, it's a Stargate behind this, but right now, 2 more hatcheries out there. Is Haas going to commit to trying to cannon those as well? No Zerglings on the way yet at all.
That's concerning me here for Rex, is the lack of units. The Queen just starting, the Ling's just starting, relying just purely on drones, and I guess the Spine Crawler here for defense. Starts his Ling speed, but for precisely 0 Lings, 2 are about to hatch. Haas starts a shield battery here. Interesting.
What's that for?
I don't know. There's no units here to shield battery. Is pro. And
Adept what is on the way, are you about to do, Haas? What are you showing us? Now, obviously, I can support the cannon.
Is this Void Race?
Well, it's just going to be oracles, I'm quite sure. And he's just going to be doing harassment. I think he's just using this as an adept healing station, where he's going to come in with adepts chronoed across the map, maybe make 1 or 2 more, and then or maybe just 1. He's still going to go Nexus behind. I don't really understand that shield battery going down as early as it did, but it's definitely going to help support that adept. She'll be able to go back there to top up her shields whenever she needs.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a tanky adept for sure. The pylon giving her a little bit of high ground there. Shade coming forward, just having a look at what Rex is up to. This front hatchery from Rex is wild to me. I mean, I get that he wants 3 bases, but if a Void Ray just clicks on that, it's dead, right?
Takes a while to kill, though. Void Ray takes a while to get out as well.
True.
And a lot of the time, you're worried about Adepts and Oracles. I definitely don't think you're looking to build and keep drones on that base in the long run. I mean, already we see this other base. Adepts on top of the expansion. 1 drone goes down. Second one does hop into a Spore Crawler to protect itself. Now, the Queens and the Spine could move forward and get rid of this position, but remember, the Adept is there. So as this Spine, and the Queens really need to get down there and take this out as quickly as possible, because the Adept Shade is going to allow the cannon to shoot the Spine Crawler. So you've got to use as many units to support as possible. The Queens as well, adding damage. Otherwise, the Shield Battery plus Adept supporting that is going to make this a losing battle for the Spine Crawler.
Yeah, indeed. You need everything together here. Bring the Queens, bring the Lings, bring all the kids and the mums into this battle. In comes the Void Ray here, and the Queens need to be healthy for this.
They're just going to go for that 3rd base now. I think these Adepts need to shade on out of there, and that Void Ray needs to get out. Queens will come from the high ground to support this. Void Ray does get pushed back for a moment. Adept's doing a really good job, but I mean, hats off to Rex. He's up on 34 drones versus 32 probes. Has not taken any real critical damage yet. Zerglings now are going to reject these Adepts, kick them out of this base finally, and clear up this side of the map.
Yeah, holding pretty well here, and that creep trimmer dropping down means he's going to have creep connected between the main and the, what do you call it? Not the natural, but the hatchery at the front of his main. That's not where you usually take your natural.
First, second, and 3rd bases, I guess is what we're going to have to call it for now.
The second base.
The second base, yep, definitely. Good work account by Rex. I am very impressed by this, by the way. +1 attacks on the way once again for Haas, but that does not lead to any aggression immediately. Ooh, very nice. Oracle's going to find a Queen out on her own. Other Queens come forward, but they're not able to land a transfuse in time.
Some Adepts finding a 3rd base, but the 3rd drones evacuate the Lings. Nibble on the tail end of those Adepts. Looks like they are not going home alive.
Good worker damage, though. This is very important. 43 probes versus 35 drones. It's a big economy advantage for Haas, and Haas is going to run away with this if you give him any room at all. Does not get any kills with that Oracle. Just way too bruised. Void Ray still controlling the middle of the map. Twilight Council and Gateways are now all going down. And Rex, well, you've got a Roach Warren, you've got 3 bases, but you need gases, you need a handful more drones. Rex needs to prepare, because those gateways are going to be ready to warp in as soon as they finish. There is no warp prism at the very least, but Rex has absolutely got to start to stabilize and get a bit more map vision and control over this.
Now, a lot of Lings on the way here. Robo going down and Charge starting for Haas. Sliding gas, so just looks to be his follow-up here. Going to be getting some higher tech units with it, I suppose.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see just a big 3-base charge at Archon Immortal. I think we'll see a handful of probes on Haas's third, but I do not think we'll see it going beyond full saturation. Like, I don't think we'll see the gases on Haas's third base. Look at this pressure, though, continuing to find worker kills in that gap. This is one of the most frustrating spots on this map as a Zerg versus Protoss player. Look at that. Only 1 or 2 Zerglings can fight at a time. That Adept's actually just going to walk out of there.
Just barely. Wow. She nearly made a liar out of you, Pig. 6 hit points on that bad girl. She's seen some things.
Yeah, cool Adepts don't look at explosions or bitey Zerglings. Just walking away, sunglasses on, does not care, though. Not phased at all, Maynard. But worker count's not good for Rex right now. He's making roachies, which is good for staying alive, but starting to look more and more like it's going to have to turn into an all-in. There's no roach speed started. There's not a lot of gas. I feel like Rex here is a bit paranoid, is kind of like, oh, where's the attack? I know it's coming. I know it's coming. And in turn, he's going to have to go and do his own assault to Haas. But as I say, that 9 drone startup, and this just tells me Rex is lost his sense of where he is in this game compared to his opponent. And it's understandably so. There's been so much harassment. His expansions have been out in these weird positions. There's a pressure now coming out for Haas. I think there should be more than enough roaches to deal with this. But nonetheless, Rex is trailing on the income. He needs to take a couple of good fights to get back in this game.
I still have that spine crawler from earlier. Charge lock count not super high. Archon count also not super high. Not too many Immortals in the mix either. So the Roach Ravager army seems like it might just be good enough in numbers. Oh, mispathing on the Archon on the left there, but thankfully it does join up the flock.
It's all about the force fields there. That Evo chamber is kind of fantastic, actually, for creating a little bit of a wall. Oh, the Ravager run-by comes in! But quick cancel on that with the Prism. And does just cancel. It was a Stalker warp in, by the way. Only Haas would warp in non-blink Stalkers there. He's like, you know what my Zealot Archon army needs? 5 Stalkers. Like, that's what's really going to take things to the next level here. It's such a bizarre choice. But because he's got a handful of force fields, like, if he splits the army right, it is good range damage. You know, they're not the best range damage, but it is range damage. And now he actually does start up Blink, so he does want to go in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, Blink Stalker is really, really good like, it trades very nicely against Roach Ravager if you have Blink. But that's what, you know, that's kind of why Big is ringing up. It's funny to see Stalkers come in without Blink, but with good force fields, of course, they can make things different. We do have the sentries coming forward there. Good tag there with that Oracle, catches most of the front line there of Rex. And Haas, he's going to make that decision with the information. Do we go for it or do we hang back? I think he's going to go for it because, you know, he's got the gateways off cooldown. Prism's here. Why not?
Oh, watch out for the choke point, Rex. Oh my gosh. Daredevil. Rex has got to be really careful of those force fields. If he gets trapped against those zealots, he's in for a bad time.
Yeah, if he comes too far forward, then, yeah, the force fields will cleft his army in twain, and then it'll be an easy peasy hold there for Haas. He just gets on top of this hatchery. If he gets through this hatchery, the game is over. If he gets anywhere near it. I like that he's just parked off creep here, and there's like this little pocket of no creep. Oh, Oracle gets a little fresh. She gets taken down, so goodbye, Oracle. Oh, that's +1 attack that gets picked off there. It's a nice pick up for Haas.
Yeah, this is really good. There's no 4th base. Rex can't give this one up. The Ravagers are looking for the flank one more time. He dodges it. Or misses it, I should say. The Warp Prism's very low, but it's not dead. The Stalker count's growing. Haas's army is very scary. And he's trying to bait Rex into a bad fight. Now, there's not that many force fields left, but in such a tight area, you still can't just rush out here. Remember, mostly Stalkers, not the most efficient units. There is still a chance Rex just rolling this with this giant Ravager force. But I do love the way the Immortal, the force fields on the right-hand side are picking things away. The spread on the Stalkers is quite fantastic, and I do think Rex needs to swing around the left-hand side with half of his army. He can't just fight in this choke point. He's got to come around the left.
+2 and Blink is done for Haas, and he says this time it's go time. Let's get on top of that hatchery and finally get her done. On the top side, a big concave of Roach Ravager starting to make some movement here, getting closer to the Prism. He wants to try and vial it down, but the Ravagers, as they try to go to vial, they move command into the Stalker Ball and get minced by Haas's army.
Oh, what a fight for Haas. Even the Void Ray adds a little bit of damage there. The Stalkers there, the Immortals. One of the Immortals does get saved. The other one goes down. The Stalkers trying to extricate themselves from this situation. They say, we've done more than enough damage. We just forced you to pull your workforce into the front line of the battle. 28 workers went down. And yeah, you got 4 bases as Rex, but you don't have the workers to man them. Meanwhile, 68 probes on 4 base, plus 3 attackers done. Mass Blinkstalk is all you need. You can just overwhelm with sheer numbers as long as you defend this counterattack. I mean, Rex has an army supply lead, but is so far behind in the upgrades, I don't think it matters.
0-0 upgrades here for the Zerg. Haas just getting on top of him. 0 fear from Haas. It's like, you got 0 upgrades, I got 0 fear. Let's do it. Let's tussle. I got my plus to attack Stalkers, my Immortals. This isn't clean. I'm not microing the greatest, but I don't need to. I just have the numbers. And Haas...
The blink on top of the army, the most insulting micro you could do this.
Yeah.
Bring it. Bring it. I meant to use this to pull back my weak units. How about I just use it to put my army on top of your army and just focus down those Ravagers? Haas says, I'm not going to give you a slow fight where your Biles can maybe do something. No. I got plus 3 attack Stalkers. You got 0-0 Roach Ravager. These upgrades are out of control. Remember, this is the same Forge that Cannon rushed. Got him plus 3 attack by the 11-minute mark. This is what has led Haas to victory in this game. And he is the Forge Master for a reason.
He is indeed. And he's just worlds ahead right now against Rex. Plus 3 attack against 0. 0 Pig. How often do you see this?
Oof, it's not a good sight for the Zerg player, that's for sure. Plasma Shields starts up and more send. Why not? A couple of Immortals being reproduced, and one of them's out. A 5th base is on the way. Rex just a bit too far behind, and it all comes back to the cannon rush in the early game. And I've got to say, a very nice calculated cannon rush, not overcommitting from Haas, but just creating such good follow-up pressure. Where so many drones went down, there was so much lost mining time, and that's really what led to the lead in this game.
And Pig, even though it started with a cannon rush, this is a macro game. Us, 80 probes. He could max out if he wanted to. If he wanted to chill, no worries. Easy peasy.
80
he made a few Archons there.
Pure Blink Stalker as well. It's a Haas macro game for sure. He's like...
That's a Haas macro game.
He's like, all right, we're just going to make a unit. Like, you know, I could just throw so much of this unit at you. You're not going to be able to do anything against this. I mean, this little Ling Run biotabs ain't going to do nothing. This is just too many units coming across the map. Rex sees the army as like, okay, I don't want none of that.